Hello there, everybody. Welcome for another EU4 Anbennar session. Oh yeah, I was in a bit of a war against Marhold. Kicking them out of the Serpent Spine, I guess. It's actually been a couple days because I had a fort to finish and I focused on that, and it's just occurred to me that I have no idea what I'm doing. So this is gonna be great. Alright, let's take the cave. Scavenger's hovel. Can't do much about this. We can definitely win that fight against Irillium. I'm saying it like there's an I between the R and the L, and there is this Ilium. We have got the party out there already. Oh, I was considering becoming a Lich then, but I guess that's more of an early game thing. Go on, you sexy fucks. Alright, push back out and take that area. Oh, sensational. Oh, Istralor. Yeah, whatever. You can be there. We're only 3 years ahead of time. That's not enough time. Alright, so we've got 36,000 dudes versus what is soon to be nearly 174 if that moves in. If not, it's 184, sorry, if that moves in. If not, can our guys win the fight? Because our morale is actually doing better than theirs. Check out the secret passageway. Send fucking stational. Nice. Right. Is there anything else that Irillium has? Nope. Nope. What? But great projects wise, we have, or they have. No, they don't. That's the Jad still. They've got no great projects. Now I am tempted to push out into this area so I get more of a presence at sea, but again, it's a bit late for worrying about sea presence considering I've been an entirely terrestrial game so far. There's a bunch of mines. That coffee was a lot hotter than I expected when it picked up, and I was trying so desperately not to immediately drop it straight on my lap. That would have been a fucking problem. Right, you can go over there. They are gonna need some backup, but they're gonna hold the line. They fucking held the goddamn line. That is incredible. Like, I'm actually shocked they held that. Fucking amazing is what that is. Right, so I'd like you to go and just start taking back some of this space. You should be able to kick them out of that region. There's no forts in that area, so back them up if you can. Did I make an aim of the game? No. I probably did at the end of the last one, but it's been a hot minute. Absolutely not. That is no way we're gonna have a level 1 outside fort to the outside unless it's really early in the game. Oh my god, they got stuff down there that I didn't even realize. Still no great projects. Could... Nah. No, I don't have an excess of stuff to... of points to spend, so I may just... get them out of the fight. Fuck it. It does mean this group is freed up to move around a lot better. 40%, yeah, it has to go there first. Go on, you fuckers. So we got the choking death, so we're going to send them to try and figure out another path. Which luckily they did. And we've got revolutionaries in Kugdir under some vassal dudes. Go and fix their problems, please. We're nearly at, like, 1 million ducats, aren't we? No, sorry. We're at 937,000. Yeah, no, yeah. We're nearly at 1 million ducats. If that was 1 million K, that's a far larger number. Shouldn't be much longer left in this fight. So it's the Nothic. So if we, know secrets, try to help, and we got some good shit, or some extra morale from them. We've done so many of these expeditions. I think while we're still in the same... What's the word I'm looking for? We're just gonna call it a campaign. That is the best term that comes to my mind right now. So yeah, while we're still inside the same campaign, I think we should just stick with the same old shit. Oh, you're a core hold yet? You are. That's as deep as you can go. $66. We got a little while to go. Is that all that shit? Oh yes, he's a new, freshly promoted elder. No, relatively freshly promoted, I guess. I don't know the fact that they lost the core, because they're Moon Elven. It doesn't make sense them to have lost their Moon Elvish core lands. That seems crazy to me. And that's their home. Maybe I should... See, I keep getting all these ideas of things that I could do. And I wonder how many of them are actually going to translate to things that I actually end up doing. Our leader died. Alright, let's just peace out Arboran. Well, not yet anyway, because they still want to fucking go. What is this province? What is this? The Temple of Munas. And they've also got this thing, which looks shit. That's a better one. That's fucking great as well, actually. Come on, that should be enough. I guess not, because technically I'm not winning any battles against you. You two, just go and wipe them out. Just break their army stack, that's all I need. If you're wandering somewhere else, just go there. Fuck you. I need to re-establish the Moon Elves in other places as well. Oh no. These weren't Moon Elves, but they are gone. Oh, that is actually a huge shame. Oh well. To make do with the massive shaft. What is even left? One. I think there's one province left to claim. Having their old capital means business. I mean, it's not as strong of a province, I guess. It's just because it's a great project. But I guess it could be more worthwhile at the moment. Maybe if I could also get them Karadid's Pass, it could be worthwhile, but I doubt I would be able to. No, we'll just stick to the two we can get. Right, and now for what I want, which is all of this area. I'm gonna connect up to Dwaravar rail. So I think. Let's see. Oh, can we kick them out the entire damn thing? Yes, we can. Where's this damn thing? Only the dam will accelerate the natural growth of our holds thanks to the hydraulic mining techniques. Are you joking? Are you telling me that I should have just taken that first to speed up all this bollocks? Is this technically a serpent spine? No, there's deep woods because it goes straight into Skumdir. Yeah. I think that's it. I think that is actually the last of the Dwaravar. Oh shit. What else do I take then? Tempted to reach out and take the coal because I'm a mean bastard, but not that mean. Whatever happened to the hammer home? Does that not normally exist? Okay. Oh, fuck me, I guess. It's actually a decent project. I'm actually tempted by that. Oops. Can't reach that one anyway. Yep, that. Just kick it out. Them outside the surface fine should do it. Actually, no. Thinking of. These are dwarvish lands, aren't they? Or, why not just... It's got to be... Yeah, there is. Oh, but there's no way they're going to be able to manage that, because they're on the other side of me. So unless they happen to have a claim on that, which I doubt, there's no point giving them it. We'll only take... We'll enclose this lake as well, and then we'll just call that there. Because I think that literally puts us at the top of our... Or we can actually core. Bear in mind that this is going to piss off a lot of people. I mean, look at the size of that coalition. It's that entire continent and Odd Vulcanzard. Who realistically shouldn't be involved, but sort of, we just have to deal with it. Right. So you can go back to Ruby Hold. You go back to Kugdir. Olgalova. Scumdir. Oljakad. We need to start moving troops around. Can you not core everything? You cored, full cored Ruby Hold before you... It's fine. I'm not gonna... I'm gonna hold it in. And I really don't want to. Forbidden by rules. What does it mean, forbidden by rules? It's saying that I can't build them over my force limit, because in that case, that makes sense. I'm not happy about it, but I understand it. No. What? What's changed? Has something changed? Drunk soldiers, fuck off. What's changed? Am I not allowed to build over force limits anyway? That's ridiculous. What the fuck? Fine then, we'll just... increase the force limit, I guess. This actually... I've played a lot of games with people who do not like using conscription or training fields. I don't think it's training fields. Regimental camps, right? And I can see where they're coming from, to be honest. In the grand scheme of things, if you can only build 5, building 5 gets only 5 extra force of it, you're not going to make that much of a difference on where you already stand in terms of power against your enemies, right? However, what I think that people are forgetting is, if you already only have 5 provinces, you're up shit creek without a paddle, if you're going against big powers, those 5,000 men, if you've got the spare building slots, it's 5,000 that are not over force limit. Then you can go over the force limit without incurring like extra costs. So where before you'd hit that 5,000 over force limit cost earlier, you've got a bit of leeway to work with. Granted, you should probably in that situation be using mercs. Like, there's no reason that you shouldn't be using mercs if you're already at that point where you need to go over your force limits to win battles, especially as like a small nation like Switzerland in regular EU. At that point, that's your only, and I do mean literally your only option, and you should go for it. But it also, something to remember is it stacks with other things that give you bonuses to your force limit. So because it stacks with other things that give you bonuses to your force limit, because in this situation we have quantity ideas. So what would have been, to take this idea I had with the 5, it's not just 5, it's 5 plus a third of a 5, which I think is only like 1.6. But that still stacks. And if you also have other things that increase your, I don't have anything that increases my force. Oh no, I do. It's an extra 10%, so you're already at 2 extra. It's not a lot, but when you have 100 shit provinces, that stacks up from being 100 to 120 extra men, which again, isn't... No, it's not. It's more than that. 140 extra men. Which is a lot of men to suddenly have an extra. Even if you just dev everything to like 5 or 10, which I think will get you the next. The Halessi and their loss of power, knowledge and power have managed to breach the vaults of the enormous request temperatures that dot their landscape. News reaches of their finds in the forms of new and powerful objects on the open markets, coupled with rumours that deep within their temples are even more potent artifacts. How this will affect us remains to be seen. Bloody interesting, guys. Now we've got options, right? One thing I do want to do is I do want to take, like we did with Kanzad, is this area, because this has got a mountainous region. We can block off the Jad there, but the Jad aren't really a problem. The Marhold Tunnel is done. I mean, we could already move between them anyway, but I'm not going to complain. Also, Mazdir gets this metropolis done. There we go. We are at our force limit again. Am I allowed to now? So it was truly the fact that I was going to go over my force limit that was stopping me. Which I mean, I can understand it. I don't like it, but I can understand it. That's not right. Sorry about that. I've actually completely lost track of what I was saying. The numbers aren't right. If we're doing... Oh my god, I did it again. I didn't even click shift that time. Right, so that's... Yeah, so let's just... Fuck it. That should be enough. I hope I'm right, because if not, it's embarrassing, but I lost track of that one. Right. Yeah, that should be fine. An ancient door found in Dirt Hole Rock. So we're going to send them to the rest. Yeah, send them to the engineers. And luckily that gave us just enough points for us to complete the military technology as well. And we're just about to go to bloody war. Potentially. I'm tempted to leave it alone for a minute while we... bloody fuck, what was I saying? Oh yeah, get our admin back up to stuff. I think my brain is deteriorating. Like, half the time I start talking and then I realise, just as I'm reaching the end of it, no idea what the fuck I'm on about. Oh no. No. Are you fixed? You are fixed. You are not caught though. So we're gonna sort that out first. Right. 10336. Now that is an incredible guy. This isn't a mine either, is it? Because it's not a... It's a surface mine, but it doesn't have the mine... Which is a shame. Right, because that is finished repairing, then you will be dug. Oh, Mithrandam. Sexy fucks. Sorry about that. Right, let's see what the... Let's let that tick for a moment. Chat exile. Whatever, don't care about you. Okay, I'm glad to increase damage tolerance. We already have max, so whatever. The skimming zones. In Verkal, a small hamlet finds itself facing a peculiar and mysterious series of events. People are being randomly struck by little pebbles, yet no one has witnessed anyone throwing them. While the attacks haven't resulted in fatalities, they have engendered a perverse sense of paranoia among the local populace, disrupting their daily activities. After dismissing the possibility of mischievous children being behind these incidents, the local magistrate suspects the involvement of a taunting spirit, one that might be shapeless, skilled at concealment, or even embodied within the stones themselves. The magistrate seeks permission to gather these stones and relocate them to a secure place, hoping that this action might put an end to the attacks. Sure, whatever. We got shitloads of men. If they need to work to clear out some... What do I do with all this cash? It's not even as much as I could have, because I haven't built these. Exhibition menu. Dirt Hole Rock. Organize. Yeah, take 100. Fuck it. I mean, our organization is fantastic. 10,000 supplies. Buy. So adventurers refuse to hand artifact to artificers. The artificers have come to us in a panic, saying the adventurers hired to recover artifacts have run away with it. Upon finding the adventurers, they claim that the artifact is something to be preserved, claiming it belongs in a museum, not something to be destroyed and exploited. It belongs in a museum. Agree. Alright, so we've got an abandoned workshop. So not a soul in your expedition force knows what secret lies behind these rusted yet majestic depiction of hammers, contraptions, weapons, and anvils. Your uncertainty only fuels your desires to unlock its secrets. You debate amongst yourself and come to a conclusion. This surely has to be an abandoned workshop. After a quick pause, one of your leaders suggests braving the torrent to the side of the entrance, while another one claims to have found a side tunnel leading into a cave that may allow us to gain access via other means. Let's go through the tunnels. Right. You fuckers. Before you can join the coalition, let's fucking go. Now. I'm a little bit worried about the fact that I don't have any leadership in this area. Leaders are needed. Who else here? Well, is it? We're not wolf. They're no longer allied to Rajna Cheshire. I can't pronounce words today. Alright. Join up here. So the specialization of Argoldston is now done. Oh. Just stop here. You can collect your other troops, and immediately be fine. So a modest cave. After a sharp turn, you arrive at a modest cave, where nothing seems to be of interest except a few rocks in an unusual formation. About to investigate as a group as goblins jump at your party. Your group fought hard and well. At first it seemed like the goblins may have gained the upper hand due to the surprise momentum. The expedition quickly scatters the attackers, cheering into light as they watch their ambushes flee to where they came from. Yeah, it should keep spirits up for a little while. Right, because this shit, I'm gonna push them the fuck out. Right, they all got positions to be in. Yeah, you're gonna back them the fuck up. That's what you're gonna do. You're also gonna back them the fuck up. Come on, you can do this. A broken wall. At the edge of the cave, your group finds the outline of a wall with several cracks and a small, unstable looking passageway through it. Some members of the force argue that we should try to slip through the admittedly very narrow pathway. Others argue that we should stabilize the gateway first or else risk our safety. I better safe than sorry. After stabilizing the path ahead, you try to make your way through the crack in the wall. However, it seems your force of better good luck, and despite its looks, a small passage proves to be reliable enough for men to pass through. Some of your expedition members suffer a small headache from bumping their heads against the rocks. Aside from a few mischievous laughs, this is the only noteworthy occurrence. Sensational? Right. Odd Volodam can have a seat at the table. So storage room 915B. After passing through some more small shafts and maintenance tunnel, you finally enter the main body of the structure and find yourself in a large room full of crates, barrels, and all kinds of metallic machinery. Several entrance points seem to have led to this storage room and appears to be an important part of the maintenance chain in the area. You notice several signs in the room that spell out 915B. Know the name of the room. Judging by its nomenclature, this seems to be just a tiny part of the massive dwarven workshop. Studying a largely unreadable map that hangs by the wayside of another entrance, you quickly find out that 915B seems to connect to a much larger structure. As this is just a quite large, advanced post and storage facility meant to deliver goods to the main production and control facilities ahead through a large cargo tunnel. Many of your expedition want to move ahead to said facilities as soon as possible, while others argue that this storage represents a perfect opportunity to stock up and such valuables. Press on. Time is lost the essence. We've got enough of everything else. Don't care. Right. Let's split the two strong stacks apart. Reinforce the spell in Carrier Cave. We cannot afford weaknesses now. Think very long and hard before you even consider pushing to attack my forces anywhere. So, you proceed to follow the cargo tunnel towards the other facilities. As you go along the tracks laid down by the workers potentially eons ago, you begin to notice two things. First, the rather quiet atmosphere, totally devoid of life, usually found in most shafts like this. And second, the appearance of more and more cobwebs around you, and soon one of your scouts noticed several pairs of shiny red eyes that keenly seem to follow his every move, as well as cocoons. Quite a few cocoons that seem to hang in the distance, and that seem awfully recent. He barely has time to shout out warning though, as suddenly a dozen gigantic spiders descend upon you. They seem to have built a nest in the connecting corridor, and you are but the latest prey to fall into their poisonous fangs. You zoom position as ordered, and fighting ensues. Blades clash with long fangs, dangers with hardened legs, and arrows and split fly over the field of battle. Your warriors do well in defending the group, after initially having some problems, eventually managing to kill the animals with some quick and decisive actions. As you inspect the dead bodies around you, some of your scouts eventually decide to investigate the cocoons. As luck would have it, they find several bags of gold and other valuables under some of them, as your group doesn't seem to be the first victims the arachnids encountered here. Sensational. Yeah, they're not called yet. We'll get there soon. Oh, yeah, that one's done. Okay, so we'll let them rest. They barely found anything. No, we'll just send them back out. They barely, and I cannot stress enough, they barely found a thing. Yeah. I mean, that's not the most incredible one, but I'll make use of it while we can. Go on, you little fuckers. You can do this. Doesn't even have to be incredibly long. Just hold out long enough so that they don't really win. That doesn't feel right. Oh, that's why. There's a 70,000 stack that should technically be in her Devar. Nicely done. Yeah. I'm actually shocked that they actually survived that. But you know what? I can see it. I forgot that. Oh my god. For some reason I thought that was just Ruby Hold, because they hadn't called themselves before. Okay. They can reach that area, so you take this one. Take the capital. Extra research progress. Sensational. So it will cost us 6 and 8. So we'll get rid of the unregulated in multiple areas. So we'll do that. Regulate the magma veins. Oh, so we got even more railway improvements. Oh, they're finally doing this next level of improvements. I remember now that there was an event for that just before we went off last time. Oh shit. I mean, what do you want? Let's just take the military power, fuck you. So, where's drum mark? How are you looking? That should be your final deepening. Okay, we've got quite a lot of these to do now. We're going to continue with the dirt hole rock first. Go. Right. Shit. Alright, so that's the Mithril Workshop. So, during the restoration of the Mithril Workshop, we found out that most of the Mithril that circulated in ancient time was not pure Mithril. The restoration team discovered that the alloy used made out of less rare material and mixed together with Mithril. This alloy has the same properties as pure Mithril, and even an expert would not be able to differentiate between them. Thanks to this alloy, they could cope with the large price of Mithril without depleting their minds. This was maybe the greatest secret of old Mithril and Dharm. What does that do? Oh my god. You gain a 50%, like, okay, it's not great at this stage of the game. Because, I mean, we're already rich as fuck. But, like, 15% in the early game, could you imagine what that would do to your nation? Like, say even if the only province you had that was Dwarven and Mithril was this, a 15% goods produced modifier would be incredible. So, we have got Workshop 9. So as you enter Workshop 9, your group finds themselves in a gigantic and ornate room that seems to be the main hub area of the central complex. You quickly notice that the entire facility is powered by an intricate mechanical system which is currently non-functional, due to either a lack of fuel or simply broke down as decades passed by without anyone using it. Inspecting the doors leading away from the main control room, you notice not only a forge and a storage, but also a path towards the central control room. You make your way to it as it promises to be the safest option to find a solution to your current predicament. But much to dread, you hear a siren as soon as you get close to your target. Intruders detected. Power out defense system SG-02. You wonder what it could mean when suddenly a large mechanical entity charges at you and uses what appears to be a highly advanced ranged weapon system to target your members. You draw your weapons and ready yourself to fight against what appears to be a giant golem. Would not have been easy otherwise. So a quick charge and some finesse does the trick. Though its weaponry seemed at first impressive, it is rather slow when maneuvering, and your expedition force prevails against the golem. Some of you suffer wounds on their extremities and some will be unable to fight for the foreseeable future. But overall, you are quite satisfied with the outcome of this encounter and the valuable gemstones and metals you rip from the remains of the golem afterwards. Sensational. Nicely done. Right, let's... just double check. Yeah, they're not done yet, but they'll get there. Head of ours back to some debates. That's nice. Oh yeah, we need to... if we're gonna expand the Mithril Workshop again... So Amaldavhad Guard. With the expansion of the workshop, we restored the old training facilities used by old Mithrandan. While they are nowhere near the old Royal Guard of Alderov, we have started to train our own soldiers in the facility, and many promising individuals have already been pointed out by our instructors. If your highness wishes to use them, they are at your disposal. So we gain Warforged, extra plus 2.5% discipline to infantry and Juggernaut Warforged troops. Which, you know what? We have quite a lot of Warforged. I'm not going to look at that as that's quite a powerful thing. I could see, in the early game, if you're relying on Warforged to win your fights, that would be an incredible boon. What dig level are you? I feel like... yeah. I got so used to Verkal being the name holders for big provinces like Vaskron. It didn't occur to me that they could also be underneath the different controls of difference. The names of different places outside of strongholds. And I don't mean strongholds as in like a stronghold position, I mean as in like a dwarven hold. Oh man, there's so much to unpack. Yep, there's the leader. So we've got the control room reach. After disposing of the security golem, you reach the control room, only to find out that your apprehensions were well founded. It hasn't been maintained in a long time, and several important systems seem to be dysfunctional. One of your members notices that both the boiler room and the machine room doors are open and show signs of activity. They argue that trying to get both systems running again would restore most functions of the complex, but are unsure which one to tackle first. The machine room. Sounds like a good idea. I could have sworn there was a thing for restoring that area. Like there was like irrigation restoration, but this was like a few versions of this mod back, so I'm not sure if that survived like the new iterations. I doubt it would have been removed for no reason. We'll have to see what comes up. I doubt it would be removed though. Why would they remove that? What purpose would it give them to get rid of it? So your group follows a winding pathway that leads to a large machine room, at least according to the sign above the entrance. You take a gander inside and find several rows of complex machinery humming in a hall barely lit, as well as huge metal apparatus in the back, lined by several rows of round objects. You briefly wonder why the machines do not seem to work, even though the dim light and noise indicate a certain activity. When you notice pulsating masses of what appears to be wind electricity approaching you from the corners of the room. Several elementals seem to have made home in this room, sucking up the power of the systems to nourish themselves. The elementals are tough enemies to fight, as their magic-infused bodies seldom allow for attacks to penetrate them. Nevertheless, your group's expertise prevails, and you can take out the creatures with only slight casualties. Great job. Good riddance, indeed. Blocked power transmission. After fighting with the elementals, you can inspect the room a bit closer and soon notice that a broken axle seems to block the transmission of the power the machine seems to generate to the rest of the structure. Your group has some members with enough technical experience to attempt some temporary measures to fix issues, but failure will probably have drastic consequences. Yeah, we'll try the craftsman angle. We're dwarves, we're good at crafting. The broken axle turns out to be a bigger problem than imagined, and two of your best engineers spend a good hour on it without any success in sight. Suddenly one of them has an epiphany. However, they try to reroute the cores attached to the entire system, attempt to rewire another axle as a substitute system. The second engineer agrees. Brilliant suggestions. They get to work immediately, remove one of the main wires, and trigger the security system. One row of the spherical objects around the big transmitter suddenly springs to life and charges you with what seems to be sharp knives. Great. The spheres attack in full force and make extra use of their unique propulsion to cause your fighters a great deal of trouble. And yet, you persevere, as both your fighters do an excellent job defending themselves against the machines with only a few casualties, while your engines manage to disable them again with just in the nick of time. Sensational. Right. You're going to there. You can't get there anyway. So this thing will produce an amazing fucking general. And lowers the dev cost in this area, which is secondary. Now, I'm actually going to leave this running. I don't normally do that while I'm at war, but this isn't like a death war. Should you take me back to Anvil right quickly? Right, if we do that, we can throw that in there. So an extra bit of dev cost reduction, because I want to make that place big. Right. So, pass the abolition of say react. Sensational. I don't think I have any, but I'd be very disappointed. If I did, it would definitely be outside the substance bind. Or maybe not, because here there's literally a place called the Slave Pits. So after you spend hours attempting to prepare various systems in the control area of the structure, you finally feel confident enough to power up the entire system once again. The scholars in your expedition in the meantime found out that a reboot of the entire pump station is necessary for the rest of the system to function properly again. Provide the rest of the workshop with sufficient electricity. You gather everyone and venture towards the pump station near the bottom of the complex. You barely even reach the entrance to the corresponding area when your scouts suddenly warn you about sightings of a giant wall elemental roaming the mostly flooded corridor. Again with the elementals. I know that we can dig. So the water elemental is a fearsome foe as it's grown to a gigantic size over the course of decades in which this was its home. Its lunges are fast, its attacks come without any hint, and thus leaves barely time to evade. You lose many men but manage to parry most of its devastating attacks, eventually driving it into a corner. In this moment the elemental contracts and starts pulsating in unusual ways. Most curious and most deadly too. In what can only be described as a steam explosion, the creature lets loose a grand last attack, which kills half a dozen men instantly, gravely wounds another dozen, and decimates parts of the station entirely. Thankfully, no critical infrastructure was hit, and while it seemed as though the entire station might collapse at any point in time now, the beams hold, and you breathe a sigh of relief as you restart the pumps. Some of them also discover a large deposit of gold a clever worker decades ago must have hidden in a small alcove that now lays bare thanks to the elemental's brute force attack. I mean, I'm glad for the gold. Like that would be how I would, like, one of my characters in D&D would probably die in that kind of scenario. I could already picture like the elemental just deciding, you know what, fuck this, blowing everything up around it and taking everything it can with it. And that would be specifically how a lot of my characters would kick the bucket. Especially since I play people who quite often don't have self-preservation in things in games. Sometimes you gotta have someone willing to throw themselves under the bus to get shit done. No, you don't get... No more resting. I should have read that. Oh. I didn't even think. My sincerest apologies. That was not ideal. Alright, let's dig this down, so at least we can do the next one. Oh, good. Right. Yeah, you are there. So I have to go straight back into that whole rock. Yeah, that's all of them. It doesn't seem like there's anything I can do about it. Right. Okay. You're gonna need to move relatively quickly in that direction. So are you, actually. So joyous crowds fill the streets across the nations as an impromptu festival is held to celebrate the visiting of the Sky Runners last night. All across the countryside, there were sightings of the red horse spirits as they danced across the clouds, bringing luck and prosperity to all who saw their auroral drovings. We have also received reports from our horse breeders that several of the mares are mysteriously pregnant, confirming the rumours of their couplings with mortal horses. Blimey. Spirits and all that. Physiocrats. A new flavour of economics known as physiocracy is becoming popular among the influential families. Physiocrats hold that the base of wealth is agricultural production by which all civilization is made possible. The most important members of society, therefore, are the landed gentry, who own the fields and lease the land. The physiocrats reject the dominant economics of mercantilism in favour of an agrarian, laissez-faire approach. Merchants, of course, do not generate wealth but merely transport extraneous produce from place to place. And when you find the depths of their economics impressive, others are more swayed by the tangible benefits of existing protectionist policies. We'll give it a try, because it sounds interesting. But at the same time, like, mercantilism is kind of like, that's where all the money is for us at the moment. Yeah, you're fucking with me, and that's why I'm literally walking my troops in to take you the fuck down. See, you backed off. As soon as I started moving towards you, you fucked off. Now that we've completely restored... Yeah, there is. Now that we've completely restored the Vale's irrigation system, we have started industrializing the Vale to enhance its production, but one major problem remains. The Vale is a plain, mostly surrounded by our great mountains protection, but completely defenseless from a possible northern menace. Looking at you, League. Many years ago, we found Balga's studio, and we were shocked to see he made a rough sketch of a possible defensive line to secure the Serpent's Veil. He had never seen the Vale's life, so he can only take these notes as something came up after reading history and geography books. The design captivated our architects, but it was very rough. So, we spent some time to make it a plausible reality. Now we're proud to say the project is ready. Oh my god. Wow, shit. I mean... There's no fortress there. It has to have a fortress first. You know what, no. Let's get that up and running, because that'll take a while. Then with the fortress, because at the moment, it doesn't matter either way. No fortress, I can't activate the irrigation system until that's done, I suspect. Yeah. Unless it's in this. I doubt it, yeah. Right, good riddance. So you've sorted that area out. Perfection. Go and actually besiege this. go. Wait, exhibition menu. Right, the last level of Lefon Van Brethar. I'm sure we did this in the Crack the Humvor one, but I might be well mistaken. You know when you're sure you did something, but then it's just escaping your mind whether you actually did or not. Currently experiencing a lot of that. So, our general is dead. But before he died, he did not catch the province. It was a different province that got captured. Alright, so you've got the power restored. So your party returns to the now powered up and hopefully functional main room of the structure, and much to your joy, it is indeed as you hoped. The entire hall is illuminated by a bright light emitted from strange, ornate lanterns, who shine upon impressively looking decor that can now be seen without any additional source of brightness. From surprisingly lavish furniture dotting the corners to astutely put together walkways leading to other rooms, you just now begin to notice how gifted the workforce in this workshop really was. Several previously locked doors are now open to you, and your gazing is on two options, neither displayed by sign above two peculiar doorways. The forge, with the promise on coming, the technological marvels that may lay dormant in this complex, or the gem storage. It makes many a group ecstatic with it's a law of endless riches. We'll look at technology. We have a special. Shit. Go back to Verkal. Clear out the fools along the way. Oh, that's a very short siege. Breakthrough, and so you decide to prioritize the forge in your expedition efforts and to assure it holds plenty of interesting materials and potential constructions of invaluable worth to the outside world. And sure enough, once you enter the forge yourself, you see several large smelting finishes that are now powered up and ready to continue producing new materials for the smithies ahead. However, it also seems the decades of abandonment have led to deterioration of a few key components, as one of the furnaces in the middle of the forge halls is spewing out flames with plenty of nearby equipment being ignited by it as well. Extinguish the fire. So you try your hardest to extinguish the flames with everything available to you, but to no avail. Your troops cannot put out the fire and have to watch as valuable equipment burns to cinder before their very eyes. Even worse, some of your own equipment is set aflame by sparks, further depleting your resources and morale. After resetting your equipment, you move on ahead to what seems to be the entrance of a smithy. It's a bummer. Right. Take them out. There should be a clause in the peace treaty that if they fuck around, that the peace treaty gets short. So they start insulting me, doing covert actions, the peace treaty gets reduced. Although I guess that could be used against you quite easily, so maybe not that. But you know what I mean. It's a bit ridiculous that we're in the middle of a truce and they're sabotaging my reputation and all that. So after you put out the flames, proceed onwards to the smithy area ahead. You see several arrays of smaller metallurgy workshops lined up perfectly with all signs of tools used for turning up raw materials into the intricate wonders of art you saw throughout the workshop. As you rummage through the first stations, your guards notice noises that quickly close in on your group. Barely managing to alert the rest of the men of the danger, they are soon struck down by a small but well-equipped mob of goblins. Always goblins. There is no time to prepare. The goblin troops immediately attack a group and you are forced to defend yourself against their nimble attacks. Thankfully, you're used to that by now. Some men fall, some have to deal with minor injuries, but in the end, you dispatch a small contingent of enemies fairly quickly. It appears to be in a scout troop. This does not bode well. You know, you don't want to run into scouts because chances are there's almost going to be some fucker not long behind. Right, so can we explore Tonga? There has been an update. That wasn't there before. There is no current... I mean, unless you count an expiration as a hold expiration, which you shouldn't, there is nothing that should be stopping us from being able to explore. But if it has, then it has. There's nothing I can do. Oh, you're going to Dramark. Here you are. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be an active choice anymore. So, after finishing up your business in the forge, you decide to head out and explore the rest of the complex. Your group eventually comes to a halt at a crossroads. With a few signs pointing towards different directions, after some arguing, everyone agrees that you decide where to head next. Check out the gem storage this time. We ignored it to focus on the forge. Oh wait, there is a... I have no idea who the other person I'm at war with. But the more we keep dominating the heat, it doesn't matter. I could call it at 74% if I wanted to. What would even be the goal? Well... the mountain range could be interesting. That would be... I mean, that's actually quite a nice little bit of space, thinking about it. There's another mountain range here, though. Or not mountain, hill. So sort of... it's a bit like another part of the Serpent Spine, I guess. I mean, it's not a direct continuation, obvious. And we kicked them out of the Serpent Spine. Cool. So obviously, yeah, it's not... it's obviously not a complete continuation. But it doesn't... I think it's still quite nice. Do I need that to completely encircle? Yeah, I do. I mean, 101% is fine. I could do something else, but I think that's okay. Right, so... as it was before, Ozavar, and then another one for this area, and then the rest of you can all go back home. Who's our next target, I guess? I guess it is time to look towards the Jad. No, since we've got so many there, we can actually send them all back. And then, because I forgot that this existed, so we'll send that over there and split that in half to use. Start coring the damn things. So you hoped for riches, and that's exactly what you got right here in front of you. As you follow the doorway, you eventually led into a room that is gaudy beyond belief. Polished alexandrites, zircons, emeralds, massive diamonds, large shade deposits. You can't even begin to name all the different gems that are neatly stored on the shelves in the room, and whose value seem to dwarf even your keenest expectations. You'll grab as much as you can carry and move on, as there must be more to uncover. Incredible. We will keep Flamehammer. He even got extra admin points, which sensational. It's probably wise. So after your grand haul in the gem storage, you proceed to the place directly behind the shelves, which seems to be akin to a jeweler. Obviously, this part of the complex where all these grandiose gems and possessions are now further being worked on to produce either more stunning and valuable results. And true enough, you enter a workshop full of filigree tools, smaller workstations, and a few truly large gems that defy all expectations you had for this place. They are so enormous that their height tops the largest men in your force, and their worth is beyond mortal comprehension. You immediately try to search ways to split and transport them away from this place, when you suddenly notice something strange. The stones seem to have moved, and not only that, the air in this place seems to be filled with a strange vibration. Now highly alert, you begin to ready your weapons, but it's already too late. The giant gemstones suddenly morph into something akin to a golem and instantly attack. Once swing of their newly formed diamond heart claws suffer through armor and send your troops flying. We had to defeat whatever they are. Flight is not an option. These golems are too dangerous to be left to their own devices. You and your men draw your weapons and try to defeat the stony monstrosities before they can wreak havoc among the lesser capable expedition members. Thankfully, the party battles accustom you to fight at this, and even though they are fierce enemies, the gem guards eventually go down to your swift and decisive actions. You may have lost a few men, but thankfully, you now don't have to search for a way to split the loot into portable sizes, because we cut them to pieces. Yeah, I'm a little bit annoyed that I now can't make use of the whole exploration function. I mean, it is what it is. There's a lot worse things it could be, but still, a little bit annoying. Off you go. Come on, it's 101%. Calm yourself. Calm yourself. Maybe if I stopped exploring the centaurs, we'd actually be fine. Which I can't do. No. It's fine. Peep-heck, don't do something stupid, please. So, at a crossroad, after finishing up your business in the gem storage, you decide to head out and explore the rest of the complex. Your group eventually comes to a halt at a crossroads with a few signs pointing towards different directions. After some arguing, everyone agrees that you decide where to head next. So, last thing left is the barracks. Right, so we got Grosvenor, I mean, Volkensard, Segadir, Orzumbrog, Odvolazan. Realistically, it has to be the Hero's Veil as well. And Holaz Krakasol, I guess. City life. As represented areas that are sometimes quite distant from Verkal Gulan, many MPs opt to find the life in the capital during the visits. It's very different to what they used to. Some find it both cramped and filthy, and many seem quite relieved when they get to return home. This year has proved even harder than usual to enjoy for the delicate sensitivities of our MPs. The hot months have been unusually hot, and the wet months unusually wet, and the cold months unusually cold. No MPs have now decided that they have had enough, and approaches asking to help them make the stays more pleasant. Yeah, sure. We got the money. We can make your life as pleasant as we possibly can. Barracks Zulgub. Choosing to follow the signs towards the barracks, you make your way through the labyrinth of passageways until you reach a large cluster of smaller, separated living and secret quarters titled Zulgub. Judging by its size, these barracks were used to house the bulk of the stationary forces back when the workshop operated under normal conditions, ideal for stocking up on all kinds of provisions, or so you think. Sadly, a large amount of goblins seem to have thought the same and made camp in the comfy rooms. The awkward moment of one of the group disrupting another group's well-earned rest is quickly forgotten about as everyone picks up their weapons and fighting commences. The tight corridors and overall narrow spaces in the living areas make any engagement rather difficult for both parties, and you actually struggle quite a bit to get the upper hand over the well-rested bunch of goblins that are scattered all across the quarters. Eventually, you wear the goblins down, but several of your best men are no longer in fighting condition, with plenty more barely hanging on. Nonetheless, your strategist notices several handwritings left behind by the goblin warriors indicate they were but a fraction of a much larger force that may eventually make their way to the workshop. Shit. That would be rough. So the fight against goblins within the barracks was a surprise, but you managed to brave the attack somewhat successfully. However, as you make your way back to the central harbour of the workshop, one of the scouts manages to detain a goblin guard at its post near the central workshop hub. As you arrive, an interrogation is in progress, with the guard spilling the beans about a large fighting force stationed in the nearby caves, and now alerted by your excursion. The local chief decided that your presence must be the sign of a massive discovery, and thus amassed all of his fighting forces to come and take whatever you found. This does not bode well, and within your group many voices their fears in regards to the oncoming assault. You decide to hurry up to the main room as soon as possible and set up fortifications, but as you arrive it's already too late. The massive metal doors are already wide open, and a seemingly endless horde of goblins is pouring through it. The situation could not be more dire. The goblin tide has begun. Our final battle. This is nothing like you have ever faced before. The goblin manpower seems to be truly endless as more and more keep flooding into the hall, posing a tough challenge to even the most battle-hardened veterans in your expedition. And not only the amount of enemies is staggering, their ferocity is unmatched as well. Not a single battle you fought during the expedition survives demanded so much of you as you desperately attempt to hold choke points near the hall's exits. Just defending your position is an arduous affair, as encirclement becomes a very real issue for your group. The fights continue, and your entire force gazes into the abyss of total annihilation. Thankfully, though, death is not what fate has in store for you today. In a stroke of either pure genius or sheer dumb luck, one of your archers managed to fell the commanding officer in charge of the entire mob with a well-aimed shot, causing enough confusion in the ranks of goblins for your warriors to decapitate the other leading figures. Soon afterwards, the tide of battle turns in your favour, and soon a once mighty goblin tide is reduced to a large pile of corpses. You celebrate as you did not only survive against all odds, but managed to loot impressive jewellery and other valuables from the goblin officers, and nothing will hinder you anymore. I'm glad you survived. I actually am quite impressed that the individuals who work on this mod have already been out, the Dwarven Knowledge submod have already managed to add another thing, because they upgraded it, I think, like a month ago. So they're, like, pretty impressive. So it has been a long journey, but now it's finally time to reap the fruits of your labour. After the hardships of the past few days, there are no more obstacles left, no more enemies to fight, and no more hardships that could beat you and your men. You make sure to explore the rest of the complex to the extent it is powered up anyway, and stow away all of your findings all the way back. It takes some time, but eventually you are sure you have done all you can for now. As your decision gathers for the departure, you once again praise them for a job well done and promise to reward them generously upon the safe return. Then you finally head out. Let the bastards rest. They've had a rough time of it. Goblin Tide and all that. In exchange, you've got another fully upgraded great project that we discovered ourselves. Right, expeditionary menu, because I saw there was Sandam Rift. Right, so 10,000 dudes to Sandam Rift. Thank you all very much. The thing I'm worried about is if I selected one at the end of last session, could it be that I will never be able to fix it up, no matter what? Like, do the whole digging, because as far as the game is aware, there's one constantly underway, but it also cannot push it forward because it got changed. I think that's likely the case. The more I think about it, I think the more likely that actually is the case. It's very frustrating. I mean, also, I do understand the phrase is what it is, but it's very annoying. Right, so if we make more than 50 of each monarch point, I'll be so happy, because we have made way more than we just spent. I'm not gonna waste time doing all of them unless they... So we've got a flock of cloakers, which we've dealt with before. Although this time, as soon as our archers are going to take aim inside of one cloakers with arrows and lead, the monster quickly dispersed. They took our supplies and killed a few men in exchange. Right. Yeah, we have got one here already. There as well. Alright, let's have a quick look. Is there any places that doesn't have it? So I can throw one down and collect a humble. Is River Gate part of the... Oh, that can be built as soon as that's done. It's probably better to put it on the gem province. Dame's Tide is depleting, but I'm not worried about Verkal Hull. Okay, so our secret passage came up nicely this time. Shit, they're incredibly good provinces. God damn. Embrace reputation. Fuck you guys. So, no thanks. Will we bring up Plenitude? The province of Bianyan Bianyuan have been witness to a remarkable and unprecedented surge in both agricultural and industrial productivity, resulting in an abundance never before witnessed in the region. Crops now seem to grow almost instantaneously, bearing more fruits and grain than ever before. This tremendous prosperity is attributed by the local populace's belief that they have been blessed by the great Walui, a testament to their diligent labor and unwavering devotion. Cool. Yep. It'll get you to blue eventually, and you'll be a proper problem for other people. Should fix up some of the issues with what we're currently experiencing. How long's left on the quarantine? It's 2 years, so we won't go to war until we've completed that at least. And I just noticed that I clicked away from when there was other rebels to manage. At least that'd be easy. Oh, Ibaba, you sexy bitches. Nicely done. Hey, don't forget centaurs. Because that's one of the issues, is I've reduced my administrative efficiency because I reduced. So advanced trade has been established into Caniel's laboratory. Great. Cool. So cool. There's so much to dig. Oh shit. I misclicked fucking twice. Right, so we won't be able to beat them before we have to before we've caught everything else. A win against this nation isn't going to be against the Jad isn't going to be too difficult, I suspect. Let me get rid of that. Keep accidentally missing the escape button. I think that's still the capital as well. Oh, maybe not. Where is your capital, my guys? Oh, here's Vilwa. I mean, makes a lot of sense actually thinking about it. We can check out the great projects, but I don't think there's any in the imagery. Yeah, it's just down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to link up with Dal Rock in this area, because going all the way around might not be the quickest approach. So we want at least these on the outskirts, but I wouldn't say no to taking this province here and putting a big fort down there just to stop them from crossing in this area, which would then really make this area untenable for them to keep without taking this from our hold in a real life situation, because they can't be a true through, they're fucked, but still, it's not real life, it's a game. Other than that, I actually wouldn't mind if I just kept taking mountains until eventually we cut this off here as well. Actually, there's even more mountains. There's even more mountains. I'm just going to keep taking all the fucking mountains in this game. That seems like a fun time. Right, anyway. Hope you had a lovely time watching. We will be going to war with the Jad Empires when we come back. Actually, because I might forget that fact, let's deck the war now. So we'll be participating in a war with the Jad when we come back. We've got a couple of expeditions to do. We might, I hope we can do the explorations of the holds, but there's no guarantee that we can. Hopefully we can, but I'm not going to bet any money on it. So if we can't do it, I'm sorry if we never got to finish these, particularly because we never found the elemental magic for air. Even after all that digging, all that, couldn't find it. Which is, it sucks, but it's nothing I can do. Which, also that kind of shit canned this, which shit canned all of these lovely, including the test goals, so conceptual magics of life, time, space, and death. Just missed, and if we can't do it, I'm very sorry. I might have to try again in the next one because I'm very tempted to play Silverforge. I might have to play it on a lower difficulty than very hard, but still, if we can, we'll do that there. But again, no guarantee. So I hope you've had a lovely time watching. I hope you're all having a lovely day. Take care of yourselves and goodbye.